mismatch is a very simple idea, which is that we evolved in a certain kind of environment or a certain set of environments. And so we're adapted for that. Our natural selection has helped our bodies and our minds, everything about us, function well in those environments so that we can survive and reproduce. And what a mismatch is that when we remove humans from that environment, or any animal from the environment for which it's adapted, we become more vulnerable to diseases, to problems that can either become more prevalent or they can become more severe as a result of no longer being in the environment for which we're adapted. And that's the basis for a mismatch. So a simple example would be if you took me out of this environment and put me in the middle of the Arctic. I clearly would not do very well there, right? That would be a very obvious mismatch.
I've heard you mention too much, too little, too new. It's another way of helping people understand mismatch.
Yeah, so there are different aspects to our environment for which we're adapted. And so we're adapted to a wide range of foods, we're adapted to a wide range of habitats, we're adapted to all kinds of stuff, right? But if you take an aspect of the environment and you make it too much, that can cause a mismatch. So too much sugar is a mismatch. Or you can take something for which we get too little, like too little vitamins, or too little protein, or too little exercise. That's a mismatch. Or some things that are just novel, right? Like cigarettes. We're never evolved to handle cigarettes, so they make us sick, or certain kinds of poisons or toxins. Those are also mismatches. So mismatches can come from a stimulus that's too much, too little, or too new.
Yeah. And we have a lot of kids walking around in this exhibition, which I think is super inspiring for them to learn about human history, Neanderthal history. A lot of kids here. When you think about mismatch, Dan, in relation to the next generation, you think about the kids that are walking around this museum, what are some of the most concerning mismatches for you?
So I think as the world is changing, as we're becoming increasingly industrialized and now post-industrialized, we live in a world in which more and more of our food is industrial, and we know we have machines that do all our labor for us. And so the two biggest mismatches that are on the rise in the world today is the rise of highly processed industrial food that makes people sick, food in which the fiber has been removed and too much sugar has been added. And the other serious mismatch, the other epidemic that we're facing, is a mismatch of physical inactivity, where people no longer have to do anything anymore. You can spend your entire day without ever breaking a sweat, elevating your heart rate, and our bodies are never adapted for that, and we run into trouble.
Yeah.